dog, and happy Friday. All right, y'all. Ain't no woo woo. You
Woo!
It's Friday. You better act like you excited about it up in here. It's Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Welcome to the show. We are so excited to see you all this evening, or to chat with you all, rather. We can't see you, but you
But
can
you can
see
see
us.
us.
But we are so excited just to be with you guys on tonight to bring you another episode of my favorite show, Hot Topics. Yay! So I hope everybody's all excited. As my sissy always says, grab your snack and your beverage of choice. All right, and right, I got my Sister Shay, I got my mint and lemon water. In case you watching, that's my drink of beverage.
You could have poured it in your
We,
you could have poured it in your victory talk cup though, man.
yes,
You could have poured it in your cup.
yeah. I'm definitely slipping, but you know
You
what?
slipping.
I'm at the 6:30 line, so I guess I could have next time I'll transport it over to the proper
To the
what you
proper,
call it?
yes.
Drinking
The proper
container.
drinkware. There you go. Y'all don't judge us. Listen, as I always say, it's been a long week. It would not be right if I did not say that. So I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. It's been a long week. It's been a long day. Oh my word, it's been a long day. So I don't know about y'all, but I am so happy to see Friday at sundown. Shameless plug on tonight. So I got my sissy from another Missy, Lady J, in the house.
Hey y'all, hey y'all.
It's me. It's your girl Key. I forgot about me. In case y'all don't know who we are already.
Right.
And we got our other sissy that likes to stay in the background. We push her to the forefront. Lisa is in the house.
Hi, everyone.
And last but certainly not least, Miss Victoria, aka Mama Sugar, sprinkling some love and joy and gladness all throughout the virtual land.
See my name on the door? I do.
We see our name on the door, and we see all that pretty purple in the background.
Yes.
I hear some hate.
Ladies.
Hate.
Y'all, I declare, I'm gonna get me some purple in my. I'm gonna get a revised background. I don't know when it's gonna be, but I guess when I make it myself.
All right, I'm gonna give you a purple throw pillar.
Perfect. That's all I need. And wait a minute. Oh, okay. Wait a minute, y'all. Oh, y'all can't see my doggy. Oh, there you go. We can throw that purple throw pillow right behind Ozzy in the background. So what's up, everybody? Hey, Tanisha, how's it going? Happy Friday. I'm not on YouTube at the moment, so I can't see who else. I know
Spencer's
probably.
up there. I see Panetta.
Yes.
Hey, Panetta. There's somebody else there.
Oh.
I can't see them for some reason though.
All right, that's all right. What's up, y'all? And I know the people are gonna come trickling in as we move along. So, what's up with everybody? I don't know. How was all y'all's week after the never ending rain that we got? What y'all been up to?
You
Well,
know,
I
man.
stayed pretty dry. I did a little stuff around the house and,
She said she stayed dry. I'm
little
so
background
jealous.
stuff. I ain't have to go out in it.
Lucky you.
Well, we were definitely out in it. We've been to Philly and back and did funeral stuff, but it was raining. It was just raining. Rain
Look,
and
that's all you can
traffic.
say. It was rain.
It was raining. Rain and traffic. The sun did come out though. The sun came out yesterday. So it was nice, the
Yes.
sun in the afternoon. So it was pretty coming back. But then there was the traffic
Wow.
because we came around 83 to 695
Wow.
to 95. Yes, we were
Oh,
traveling.
yeah. Ouch.
So, but yeah. So, but it's all good.
Yeah, I was gonna say we made it, and we knew that the sun was gonna come back eventually, even though it felt like it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Uh, we survived.
Right.
Okay. All right, y'all. So let's just get into it. We got a lot of good topics to talk about tonight, so we are going to get started. Cause y'all don't know, but we stay running out of time before we can get through all of these. I want to say we might have, in the history of hot topics, we might have gotten through all the questions maybe 3 times because it's just so good, and we just cut up and carry on, whatever. So it's all good. We gonna go ahead and get started. So we want to talk about first, are schools pushing parents out of education plans for students with disabilities? So y'all already know, we covered just various topics of all sorts, but we want to definitely make sure that we get some educational stuff out there. So this one is for people who aren't too familiar with the school process and children with disabilities and IEPs and 504s. So, disability rights in education have become one of the most talked about issues at the New Hanover Board of Education, with advocates honing in on changes that some will say might have a negative impact on students' IEP. And that stands for Individualized Education Plan. So, the most recent concern center around a document called a prior written notice. This document is created as part of the meetings for students' IEP. They can include the initial evaluation, changes in how a school identifies a child's disability, changing in educational placement, resources, and more. So, according to advocates, it gives parents some legal leverage to have a say in their child's educational plan and to make sure that their needs are being met based on whatever their learning disability is. So, for years, the New Hanover County schools have provided this notice to parents immediately after the meeting. And the meetings basically consist of the parents, teachers, and other important stakeholders. But now the district is changing that. Instead of at the conclusion of the meeting, the staff will have up to 3 days to provide this written notice document to parents. Now, the issue with this is that in the past, the parents were able to review the notice before it was actually finalized and then request that any mistakes in it be fixed. But now it's not going to be that easy. This process is going to make it more difficult for parents who may not have easy access to the internet, to receive the document via email. So people who are going to have to wait for it to come in the mail, it's going to take even longer, as they call it, snail mail. And it rushes the parents to review the document for any changes that need to be made before the change is implemented. So advocacy groups are appearing to agree with the concerns of the parents, and we want to know, what does everybody think about this? Should the schools be allowed to just change up this procedure that could potentially negatively impact parental rights? What do
I
y'all
don't think
think?
that they should. That's not fair. Um, I, I don't know how they can do that and get away with it. I mean, I would imagine that the parents should have a vote in, how, they receive their information and the time frame of which they receive the information. I think that it's unfair, and I really felt like it's because I've been to one of those meetings. I used to go with my sister for those meetings for my niece, and I really liked how they got the information ahead of time after the meeting. She received the information so that if there were mistakes, if there was things that was you know not put in there that was said at the table, because they'll say what they need to say to get you out the room. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But there were a couple times where some things, were agreed upon that they were going to do for her. And then when she got the paperwork, either it was left out or spelled out in a different way. And I think it's important because parents need to be able to be aware. And, I think that, the school system, they have to be checked just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Checks and balances,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they got to be checked. So that's
So
my thought on it.
during this process, If a program is developed for the child, and whether the parents have enough input or not, can it be adjusted if that program is not working, or is that a whole nother
So
situation?
yeah, I mean the good thing about that, and I'm not like the IEP like master or whatever, but I do have a child that has one, and you are able to revise it later, at any time the parent. And this is good information for anybody out there who might have one, might need one, might not
Mhm.
know. You might have one and might not know, what the protocols and stuff are for it. But yes, you can request a meeting at any time during the year, and they have to grant you that meeting.
Okay.
And also, you are able to request for it to be revised. Because say request special apparatus if your child has hearing aids, or they have
Mhm.
difficulty hearing, and something changes and it gets worse, and then they need more things
Right.
put in place. Yeah, so stuff changes, stuff can get better or worse, so you definitely can change it. But I guess the whole point behind this is that it's a little easier to kind of do it while you're doing it, you know what
Up
I mean?
front, right.
Because then you're going to have to come back, wait for a date, and then come back
Yeah.
in and take time off of work or do whatever to be able to to do it all over again. But yeah, I definitely agree with Lady J. It should not be allowed to be a thing. And I don't know how this is even, I don't know if this is being voted on, but it says the school board is going to discuss this issue during the interim meeting later this month.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'm like, I mean, how you just gonna up and change stuff on people and then they don't have any say so or input? That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I hope the parents can at least voice themselves. I don't know if they are able to attend this school board meeting or whatever, but I hope that they at least, give them the opportunity to tell how they feel, because it is best to try to get things straight and in place up front as opposed to having to go back and revisit, wasting time. So,
And I
yeah.
also wonder how much is this being publicized. So the parents probably, I mean, if you're not one of those dig type of parents, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's probably not even being put out there that this change is about to be made and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to affect, I mean, seriously affect you and your child.
So, is this
So,
all school systems, or is it a
No,
statewide thing?
this is just a particular New Hanover,
Okay.
New Hanover County. Um, but yeah, I know I have had to make some calls and make some,
Hmm.
because a lot of people don't know, what's happening, and there's just it's a legal thing, and so
Hmm.
things are supposed to be done in decency and in order. And one time, I didn't get my documents that I was supposed to get prior to the meeting, and I was on that phone so fast, like, and the lady was just kind of like, oh, like they didn't expect me to know that. I'm like,
right.
it's
Right.
more than 10 days before, and I have not received, my letter and my, everything that I'm supposed to get.
Hmm.
And then, it got emailed over because y'all already know I don't play. So, but she was just like, oh, I'm so sorry that that happened. I don't know how that happened. It's okay, but you can just send it to me now, please and thank you.
But I realize it's just starting in, would you say New Hampshire? Did you say New Hampshire?
New Hanover
Hanover.
County. That
New
sounds like
Hanover,
PA, I think.
Hanover
Maybe.
County. So, but you know how the trickle down effect is. You know,
Yes.
when they start something, they kind of started off small, and then if they can get it passed, then it's gonna
Try to
build
slip it
up.
in on
So
everybody.
this is
Hmm.
the sort of kind of like the pilot. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so if they can get that one to go through, the next thing you know, you're gonna be hearing about it like it's just gonna be running down,
Hmm.
running down.
Wow.
So,
Well,
woo.
Baltimore City
Mm.
needs to really catch up because they can't even keep up with their plan. They be on the news all the time about them not being able to provide the things that the kids need.
Hmm.
And they just like sitting out of school doing nothing.
Yeah.
and then getting a grade or whatever for it is weird. But that's another
You
story.
quiet, Lisa, what?
What happened?
I said, you quiet, Lisa.
Oh,
I don't know. Like we shipping our kids to Catholic school just because of the craziness, and so happened the girl is really smart and got full scholarships, so her brother and sister
praise God.
can ride on with her as a discount. So
I know that's
and
right.
Amazing. That's really good.
it's a shame, but pulling them out might be the answer,
A
especially
lot
if
of
things
parents are
it's
doing
getting really rough in Baltimore City.
it.
These charter schools, if you're able to bus your kids or provide transportation or find transportation, you can just pull them out and help get them to better education because you're not finding it in the public school setting. It's getting really hard.
I
And
do
you
know
know
that.
what? On top of that, I actually was seeing today, since we kind of shifted gears a little bit, there was somebody on my Facebook page that was posting about stuff that's been, happening in Baltimore County public schools with, and somebody commented on, she basically was venting about the fact that something had went on in the classroom on like a Monday or something like that, and she didn't get notified until today. And so she was venting about that. And then here comes somebody in her comments saying that their child came home 2 times with their clothes soiled because they had to use the restroom and kept asking the teacher, and the teacher wouldn't let them go. And I'm just reading these comments like, unbelievable. Like, what is really going on?
Yeah.
Because that's a problem.
Mm,
I mean, I
mm.
know, it's a lot of stuff just going on across the board, but I'm gonna need BCPS to get it together, just as a whole, because it's
Yeah.
not just, every district, every school system has their, issues to deal with, but it's definitely a lot of behind the scenes stuff, like the chunky chocolate milk that they had on the news a couple months ago. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but a
Yeah.
student had videotaped pouring out chocolate milk, and it had chunks in it. It was at a Baltimore County school. And yeah, of course, then they said that it was still safe to drink, like it wasn't expired or anything, and it was
Wait a
some,
minute, hold
and they
up,
was
hold up. Are you saying that they said it was still?
they said that it was still safe to drink, and that, no, that the parents don't have to worry about the kids getting sick from potentially drinking this milk. But I'm sitting there watching like clumps on the video being poured out, and I was just like, okay, see, that's why I pack, my kids pack like 90% of the time, because the moldy sandwiches and like, what are y'all doing? Just gross. I don't know. We went down the rabbit hole, but I'm just saying.
But I feel like I know what it is, kind of like down a rabbit hole. But I think people need to know this. Y'all need to
Hmm.
know this. And
Absolutely.
the thing that disturbs me is that if the children did not videotape it,
Who
you
Yeah.
would
don't want
know?
the
We'll
children to
never even know.
videotape because you don't want it to
Yeah.
get out. But come on, it needs to get out because
Oh
one of
yeah,
these children are going to be deathly ill.
yes,
Oh, that makes me
absolutely. I
hot.
agree. And y'all know, if you don't hear it nowhere else, you're gonna hear it here, because we gonna tell it.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
listen, don't y'all students don't get in trouble videotaping your crappy lunch, but you better tell somebody.
Yes.
You
Hmm.
better
Oh
tell
yeah.
somebody. That stuff will have you doubled over, appendicitis and
Yeah,
ruptured this, that, and the third. Like,
absolutely.
uh. All right, y'all. So I'm getting a little nauseous now. So we just gonna go ahead and forget
My
about the
bad. We went from IEPs to
to the
chunky
chunky
milk.
milk, chunky chocolate milk, no less. Like, ew.
Oh
All
my.
right. So this topic is mind boggling, and I think kind of what just really gets me is that everyday people, you don't hear about their divorces, but these folks that's got some moolah, they want to
Hmm.
air out their dirty laundry, but they are calling it divorce week. At least 3 couples have decided to publicly announce ending their marriages this week. Actors Tia Mowry and Corey Hardick, NFL player Tom Brady and Giselle, and singer Miguel and wife. We just gonna say Mandy, okay? We just gonna say Mandy.
Gotcha.
Tia Mowry and husband Corey are splitting after 14 years of marriage. The duo tied the
Wow.
knot in 2008 and shared 2 young children together. Mowry cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split. As a CNN reporter reported, Maury and Corey dated for 6 years before getting married. Then in 2017, after 9 years of marriage, Maury spoke to ET about the secret to their happy marriage. It's appreciation and showing how much you appreciate your significant other. In February 2021, Maury and Hardick opened up about their dynamic and noted one of their reasons they had a successful marriage was because we don't focus on, y'all notice that I said 2021, right? Okay.
Yeah.
They said we don't focus on a specific gender roles. Maury reported, Maury said people reported. Then let's talk about Tom Brady and Miss Giselle. Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, and Giselle, the Brazilian fashion fixture, she's a model, y'all, have been married since early 2009 and have 2 children together, ages 12 and 9.
Hmm.
Giselle had telegraphed that she's not thrilled with Brady's continuing football career. The man play. He out there making that dough, girl.
He's the oldest player in that.
Obviously, I have my concerns. Y'all hear the producer in the back. Don't listen to the voice in the back.
He was the oldest player in that.
Obviously, I have my concerns. This is a very violent sport, and I have my children, and I would like him to be more present. She recently told Elle magazine, she said, I have definitely had those conversations with him over and over again. But ultimately, I feel that everybody has to make a decision that works for them. He needs to follow his joy too.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay. And last but not least, after 17 years together, singer Miguel and Mandy have decided to separate and have been for some time now. A rep for the couple told People exclusively at the time. Mandy cited, again, what's the word? Irreconcilable differences. She posted that she's on a current journey of introspection and discovering my purest me again. When and who was I when I was my most free and confident self? She wrote. The couple both wish each other well.
Wow.
So, what are your thoughts on this? What do you consider to be irreconcilable differences?
Lisa, you want to go first? No, because you were quiet on the last one, so I want to let you have a turn to talk.
But you know what? I don't know if that's right to send her down this one.
I would say when you realize you two can't live together or y'all are just totally on 2 different planets. Like he's doing his thing, you're doing your thing, and there's no us. It becomes the role becomes a individual lifestyle instead of a walk together. Now, granted, you're not together all the time, but you come together, and when that stopped happening, you know, you realize you're not a us, you're I and he's a him or whoever, vice versa.
I agree with that, and I think you know, because we're on the outside looking in, sometimes it's kind of easy to make comments, and I don't really. All right, so I'm gonna make comments anyway, 'cause y'all already know. I'm just. I mean, I'm just not judging, but my concern with I'm a circle from backwards forwards. My concern with the from what it sounds like from Miguel and his wife, and her saying, that she's on a current journey of introspection and rediscovering her and who she was when she was free and confident and all these things. And I'm just kind of thinking, we have to be careful not to lose ourselves, when we're in marriages. We have to maintain our own self identity. Although we are one, we are still two, separate people. And so it kind of makes me sad that they spent 17 years of their lives together. And if this is the reason, because she needs to rediscover herself or whatever, I just wonder, is it more, behind it? Because that just kind of seems like something that could be resolved, some kind of way without ending the marriage. And then my comment on Mr. Brady is this. I'm not saying she should divorce him, but I understand, because you've had all your fun, you've made all your money, you've done all the things, you've been on the road all over the place. I've been home, by myself or whatever. Sometimes I might come on the road with you, but most times I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to be jet setting in cities and all the things, sir. So how you gonna retire for 5 minutes and then come out of retirement? Like, it's a fine line between living your dream, because I want you to live your dream and I want you to do all the things that make your heart content. But I mean, at what point is enough enough? So, like, that's kind of my comment on that one. Hopefully they can work it out. Doing further research, they haven't like filed papers or anything yet, but hopefully they can work that out. But I kind of understand sis on that one, because I feel like that's a little selfish. And Tia and Corey, I don't know what the story is with those two, so I can't really. They're kind of being a little mum about it. There was rumors circulating that there was some cheating or something on his part, but he slam dunked, threw that in the trash can, said the devil is a lie, ain't none of that happened. So I don't. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all. But that's my little 2 cents on all three.
From what I understand about the Tom Brady thing, it's not only that she wants him to retire, she wants to go back to work. She's a model. She set her whole career aside so that he could go and do his thing, and she would stay home with the children and be doing this and that. So she does want to jet set because she wants to get back into modeling. She feels like she still has it going on, and she misses her career. And he promised her that he would go first, and when he retires, they would switch roles. And now he's reneging, and so she's not happy.
Ooh,
So
Understandably so. I'm just saying.
yeah. But for real, they got enough money. Put the children up with grandma, and both y'all do y'all thing till you get tired and whatever. I'll watch him.
Bye, Felicia.
listen, let me tell Sam that she be at your door. Do, do, do.
I was about to say, listen, I got first dibs, so y'all gonna have to get in line.
Well,
But
just
yeah, I
let me
mean, they
say
have
this.
enough. So it's really not about the money with them. It's about her wanting to get out and get her feet wet because she set her whole life aside. But that's sometimes what you have to do when you get married. So I mean, I don't know.
And all three of them are citing irreconcilable differences. And so I feel like that's kind of like the safe go-to.
Yeah,
That's the choice that people choose when they don't want to sling mud and
yeah,
do all the other things.
which is a
But
good thing.
But it
Yeah,
protects
it
the
is.
children.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
well, and so the paparazzi or whoever the people who will sell the story for $5, the relatives and the quote unquote
Yes,
friends, that the reporters roll up and be like, here go a check for $10,000. Can you tell us what's really good? And the people start telling. But it's just really unfortunate, because I mean we're talking about long marriages, like all
Yeah.
Yeah.
three of these, and my heart just really goes out to not saying that if it was 6 months or 3 years it wouldn't be a big deal, but I just feel like when you spend, so much of
That
your
much
life
time.
with
Yeah.
somebody, yeah, it just and I wouldn't want to start over after all that time. I'd just be by myself. That's it.
Mm.
Mm-mm. What you got to say, Lady J? Anything you want to chime in on that one? I gave that one to you for a reason. Yes, Miss. Yes, marriage works, ma'am. So I know you got something to chime in.
Well, actually, no, I don't. Well, let me just say this. Let me say this. I do. I feel for Giselle because I feel like if that's the case, then he is reneging on an agreement, and to give up a career to be an at-home mom because your husband at the time has a more successful career. And to be quite honest, in his prime, yeah, so I guess that would have been the obvious choice to have, made that would have been the obvious decision. But I feel like, and I looked her up, and if the pictures are current, yeah, she's probably still can get some modeling time in. And so I
Mhm.
feel like in all fairness, keep be a man about your word, you know. And as
Absolutely.
far as, Miss Ma'am trying to find herself and get back to who she was, I feel like she should have been doing that along the journey. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that's I don't feel like, so to me that sounds like a cop out.
Hello.
there's
Yeah.
more there's more there's more below the surface of that. I
Hmm.
feel like that's just what she used because she doesn't want to maybe shine a bad light or whatever on the relationship or on the singer himself. I don't know, but I feel like it's definitely more to it because
Yeah.
in 2022 we as women know how we don't know how to do nothing else. We know how to find some time for ourselves, and we know when we need it. We may not
Yeah.
always take it when we need it, but we know when we
Hmm.
need it. And when we know that when our cup has completely runneth over, we know
Yeah.
how to go and get what we need. So I just really
Absolutely.
feel as though that it's a little bit more to that. And as far as Tia and Corey, I'm broken. I love the both of them, as
Yeah.
actors and actresses. I really do. And so I feel as though that whatever their arrangement is and whatever their agreement is, I pray that it does not affect their children. I pray that they
Mhm.
will still be able to co-parent their children in a successful way
Yeah.
without making
Hmm.
it, difficult or what have you.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It bothers me to see any marriage come
Yes.
undone. It
Yeah.
really does.
Definitely.
But at the same at the same time, if you really feel as though that it is not healthy for you, then I take my head off to them both, all three, for getting out if
Mhm.
that's what they need to do, without it being
Absolutely.
volatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, okay,
Um,
there you go.
we got some comments, and I'm not quite sure. It just says Facebook user on my end, which may be a good thing because of the what the comment says. But they said that someone said, "I can't wait to make my divorce announcement public." LOL. Sorry, not sorry. But they said that's an individualized list depending on the persons involved and what has happened within the marriage, i.e., victimization, broken trust, I'm just saying morals are different for different people, which is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
And they also said, I believe it's more to the story also, but there's a difference of what really happens and what the public needs to know. And
Yeah.
I agree. I can
Yeah.
respect the fact, that people just say, we're going our separate ways, kind of like how, oh, hey, sis, that's Leah. Look, she was like, ain't gonna be no Facebook user. I'm gonna let you know who said it because I said it.
Hey,
Um,
Leah.
All right, Pooh, we hear you. Dang, she made me lose my train of thought. I was saying something good too.
She said, I said what I said, and this is my name. I want you to know my name.
She
Put my
said,
name
I
with my
said
face.
what I said. Ain't no Facebook user. This is Leah. And that's what it is. All right, y'all. Our next topic, because oh my gosh, the hour is just going, it's just going. So, all right, we're on to a more not that the last one wasn't serious, but this is a very serious story. So y'all know that TikTok has just taken over the world. And it's actually I'm not on TikTok. But I do watch the videos that people share and stuff like that. And while some of the stuff with the challenges and the children is just ridiculous, there are also a ton of educational content that's on there, and this is one of them. So, a shocking TikTok video reveals what can happen when you sleep with your bedroom door closed. It's called New Fear Unlocked. So, a firefighter's video reveals what can happen when you sleep with your bedroom door closed is going viral. In this now viral video, firefighter, and just in case y'all want to check out the video, I watched it and it was mind blowing. His TikTok username is Smoke Medic, SMOKEMEDIC. He begins by filming a totally ordinary looking bedroom. The bed is made with toys and clothes are put away, and nothing seems abnormal or dangerous. But then the camera pans to the door in the hallway, and the true horror of the situation is revealed. Beyond the bedroom door, the house has clearly been ravaged by a terrible fire. The only thing that saved the bedroom from suffering the same fate was the closed door. So he's reminding people to remember to close your bedroom doors before you sleep for the night. It could make a big difference. And it says hashtag close before you doze. So, in quoting from the Close Your Door Safety campaign, he urges viewers to close before you doze. It's saying that because of synthetic materials in furniture and construction, fire spreads faster than ever before. So, closing doors helps stop the spread of fire, states Close Your Door. Research proves that a closed door can mean the difference between 1,000 and 100 degrees in the event of a fire. So, what do y'all think about this? Is this something that you already do or would be willing to do, to err on the side of safety and caution?
well, it's something that we do. I never knew why we did it, but as we grew up, I did it with my family. The kids do it. Everyone go in their room and they shut the doors. Most of all of our houses always had smoke detectors, on each level, but also one in each bedroom as well. So that has always been a thing. I may have to go back and ask my dad, like, why did we used to close the door? I mean, why was that a thing?
Right. I'm just gonna say I don't know. I maybe I'm not a good person to ask this question because I got to hear everything. Like I
Yeah.
literally like we sleep with the doors open, but I kind of keep them like cracked a little bit. But they're still open because I need to be able to hear like all the things. But I mean, seeing that video, and that's not the first time that I heard of something like that and them saying that you're supposed to do that. But seeing that video, y'all got to check the video out and see, like, I mean, it's literally like the room is completely intact. And then they open the door and it's just toast. The whole hallway, all you see is black and soot and ashes like everywhere. And it's just amazing to me how a door could just keep
Mhm.
all of that fire out of a space. Like, so I guess in essence, you're thinking for people who, might sleep hard or whatever, people die in house fires like every single day. And, if something is happening overnight and you're sleeping, you might just wake up in flame. You know what I'm saying? So it's already happening by the time you wake up. So it was definitely eye opening. What y'all think?
I'm okay. So first off, we don't close the door all the way when we sleep. It just
Hmm.
and in my mind, one of my things is that, listen, if you come up in here, I need you to know that Paul's gonna hear you.
Yes.
Paul's gonna hear you, and Paul's gonna get to you before I can get to you. That's
Hmm.
just one of my thoughts. And I don't recall, I can't think back that far because y'all know we've been empty nesters for a very long time. But we did used to keep the door shut, didn't we, babe?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Ex Scotty, he know.
It's the adult thing to do. My father just texts.
I was about to say, Lisa, I don't know if it was because of this fire situation. That might have been for some.
I
Okay.
Right.
I wish I never texted them. So.
But what concerns me though is the parent in me, the parent in me came immediately to the surface.
Yeah.
So if my door is shut and their door is shut and there's a fire in the house, I can't get to them.
That's why I said I'm the wrong person to ask, because
Yeah.
I'm
So that my inner parent just immediately is thinking, if my door is shut, and even when they were younger, I might have shut their door, but my door was open because I felt like it wasn't nothing going on. I felt like I
right.
needed to be able to hear.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
I needed to hear. So, uh,
So in other words, we hear you, Mr. Firefighter Smoke Medic, but I don't know about that for me. That might be a hard no for me. I mean, cracked is about as good as it's gonna get, but I need to hear what's going on. I do.
Yeah. And that's something that I never did, even when my kids were little. I never closed the door unless, and then we would reopen the door,
Unless
um, because
Exactly.
because
yeah,
you need to know what's going on in the house. Now, when they became teenagers, they would close their door themselves.
yeah.
Mine was,
Yeah.
but other than when they little,
Listen, when they woke, I'm closing their doors myself now, and I only got one teen in the house, and he be loud, like playing the game and talking on the phone. Sir, close your door.
oh yeah, we do be a little. But
I'm so
now that
mad.
now that I'm an empty nester and I live by myself, I don't sleep with my door closed, but and I sleep really hard. Um, but if a fire broke out, they got these sprinklers in here, so I'll be wet before anything else. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Wet
It's
kitty, wet kitty,
ridiculous.
wet kitty.
That's a
I'll be
good
just
thing,
a wet.
though.
I'll be a wet
I think that's a
mess
great thing. Yeah.
because
That
that
is
water in
really
there is
true.
really nasty.
And maybe they should start like building more of these places with, you know what I'm saying? Because I'd rather have the water damage than somebody lose their life or
Right,
Sure.
right.
get seriously hurt. Yeah.
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 Yes.
All right. Oh, and I'm sorry. Leah said, wow, growing up, my mom never allowed me to close my door.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No locked doors.
I know
No
that's right.
locked doors.
No locked doors.
No locked doors.
My mom said, "You don't close the door and you don't sleep naked, because if something happened, you got to run out the house. I'm gonna talk about you. You run down the street half clothes."
Listen, I don't want to see that and be traumatized. So please at least have some underwear on. At least. I mean, if you don't got nothing else, make sure that everything is covered because look, one. Well, I hope you got a bathrobe close that you can grab real quick in case
Oh
on the way
yeah.
out. And they gonna get all this work. Sorry, y'all.
Jumping out the window.
Ow!
Oh man.
I must have swallowed hard. my gosh. All right, y'all, let's get to our speaking of, let's get to our next couple. Well, I get all the couple stuff tonight, ma'am. So, after a couple wins 294 million, this is what they spent their money on. Wait a minute, y'all. Before I get to what they spent their money on for 294 million, what y'all spending y'all's on? What you buying? What you buying?
Me? What am I buying?
Anybody? What you buy? What you buy?
I am paying off some debt.
Mm-hmm.
294 million, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying several houses. No, number one, I'm a tithe. Yes. But my church will have a permanent, blinged out sanctuary and whatever. With
Blinged out sanctuary.
blinged out
She said a blinged out sanctuary.
With attached home for the homeless, helpful people. Yeah, I'm gonna do some things, and then I'll just buy a couple houses for my children and my grandchildren.
And her grandchildren. All right, Key, what you doing? What you doing?
Definitely going to pay my tithes. Absolutely, 1,000%. Probably build a church location or two from the ground up.
Yeah.
Donate to some charities. Invest. Start my own business or two. And put away, for the kids' college and the grandkids, all the trusts and set that stuff up. But yeah, I'm gonna donate quite a lot because I'm a firm believer in, first of all, that kind of money. Nobody should be able to spend that kind of money in multiple lifetimes. And so I'm all about, giving back.
Yeah, definitely.
And why be wasteful?
Yeah.
Why be stingy? Like,
Why be
you
stingy?
can't take it with you. People be tripping for real.
I'm a simple girl, I
Lisa,
don't
is that
know.
just that's you too, Lisa?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need a $90,000 car. My
But
first
you gotta
owner is
drive on the
fine. I
same
just
Reggie
need
road.
her paid. I
Pay
can
her
get
off.
a $25,000 car.
Yes.
And
You gotta drive it on the same raggedy roads anyway.
Exactly.
for it to be worth 10,000 in 6 months.
Right.
More potholes.
And I love the idea of building a church. I mean, New Samba spent 15 million building their church. We can have a church. I got 294 million. Oh, we can have a church.
We gonna have a
Oh,
church.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We can have a school.
What?
A church and a school.
And a school.
Church
Yes.
and a school.
But definitely, I would not keep it all for myself. I would definitely have to share. I have to bless God people as a way of me saying thank you for blessing me with this. So
Absolutely.
we ain't doing no fake science project. I ain't donating my money that way.
Well, let me tell y'all about Mark and Cindy Hill. 52 and 51 years old. They became one of those few lucky people to hit the jackpot. It was the largest in the history of America at the time and the biggest in Missouri ever. It stood at a whopping is that over $5 million?
Yes, almost 6 million.
Almost $6 million. They got to take home a big check worth almost $300 million to be exact. And when they won the lottery, they defied the odds again by spending their money in a way no one would ever expect. Instead of spending all that money on themselves, they were going to use it to better the world. The first thing the Hills did was look to their roots. Mark donated $50,000 to his hometown of Camden Point, also in Missouri. He wanted the money to go towards a sewage treatment plant. They donated $3 million to the fire department of Dearborn. The money went to help the department build a whole new station in a neighboring Camden Point, allowing room for them to get a new ambulance as well. The Hills wanted to help their old high school as well. They created a scholarship for Dearborn students. With the help of the Hill family, the North Platte High School was able to provide aid for many Dearborn students, including college help, and lunch money. They also set aside college funds for their nieces and nephews along with their daughter. They helped to send many students to the university, which is a real accomplishment in a town that small. It didn't say how small the town was, but they even gave the school district enough money to build a new baseball field. About 70% of lottery winners lose all the money within a few years. There are examples of people who were even millionaires before winning the lottery who went bankrupt after winning even more money. That makes no sense. It seems counterintuitive, but having that much money can go to your head. Ultimately, less is more.
Wow.
So what do you guys think about what all they did with their money? I know we kind of talked about what we would do with the money.
I think they did well.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did well.
I really like what they did.
Me too.
I think
And their
that
town must be really small if they only had one fire station that didn't hold an ambulance.
right,
Yeah.
right. I
I
always
like
say
it a little
God
better
knows
than
who
the
to
real
give.
church, but
Huh?
Well, they probably already had a church, Ma.
well,
But I
refurbished.
mean, Mama Sugar,
I'm just saying.
Miss Victoria.
Well, even though
Oh
it
my
didn't say that
goodness,
they did anything with the church, but they did so much.
they did. They
It
really
sounds like
did.
they didn't keep it to themselves. It really
Yes,
sounds as if they were being a blessing to others,
yes.
not just in their family, not just
Hmm.
because not just their children and grandchildren.
Yeah,
They went beyond. They went
yeah.
beyond.
We are definitely blessed to be a blessing. I tell you.
Yeah, yeah. And I always say, God knows who to give money to.
Hmm.
He
Absolutely.
every
You're right.
now and then you'll hear of somebody slipping up and they hit the lottery or whatever, they get all that money and then they done blowed it and they don't know what to do with it. But yeah, there's some of those out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
because when
I'm
I
like,
heard that
how?
70% of the people squander the money away, and that is just mind blowing to me.
Mm.
Like, y'all know how many people are out here hungry, and
Mm-hmm.
you are just
Absolutely.
blowing through millions of dollars on probably
Absolutely.
buying cars and
Foolishness.
jewelry and stuff that
Like she said,
I mean,
foolishness.
I'm not gonna lie and say that I wouldn't buy, something nice for myself. I'm definitely gonna buy, a home or two, one for like, my daily living and then probably a vacation home somewhere. But after that, I mean, I can drive my little car. I can, I'm still gonna shop at the same places.
Yeah.
My husband and I talk about that all the time. Like, I'm not gonna be just squandering.
Yeah.
I don't ever see myself spending no daggone hundreds of dollars on no shoe and no shade to to people. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But I'm cheap,
Birkin
so
bags and
even
stuff.
if I have it, I'm still not spending that kind of money on something that I'm walking on the ground on.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just not
Right.
like.
Makes no sense. I mean, not like
But
you get in the elevator to walk on all of a sudden, or better ground, and you ain't gonna scuff up your shoes and that kind of thing. Really?
and step in the
Big
same
brand new
gum and
shoes.
poop as everybody else is
Yep.
stepping in. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
said it. Absolutely.
Okay, viewers. So what do y'all think? Let's see what y'all saying. I'll buy my building and open my place for the homeless veterans resources after I think that's after I tithe. And then someone says that's nice, and they also gained huge tax breaks. Yes, for me, I'm just saying I'd rather remain anonymous. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Me too.
absolutely. Listen, y'all
Yeah.
not gonna have me on the news with that card and sitting here looking like this. So I had to pack up and move the day after because people gonna be beating my door down.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not. I be tripping when them people and they just be just a cheese and holding they check. I'm like, y'all must go move.
Well, the family in Dundalk, there was a family in Dundalk that ended up moving, that had won the lottery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had like a little psychic business or something, and the building that they lived in got tore down, or something happened, a fire or something broke out. But yeah, they had to leave.
Wow.
They had to leave. I'm like, wow.
I guess so, because people ain't gonna leave you alone. Look,
Is
they
that
ain't
you
never
again,
gonna leave you
Leah?
alone.
Leah say I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to look that up.
Me too. That's crazy.
But
Yep,
I
still
think
come to
that
church with my jeans on.
Yeah.
girl,
You wouldn't even know. You
okay.
wouldn't know nothing happened.
I know
Okay.
that's right.
Yes. Straight with my jeans on. Matter of
Absolutely.
fact, I think I'm gonna have on jeans Sunday. So. All right. So well, yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know. People gonna do what they're gonna do. But I'm glad that they did not they didn't squander their money. I'm glad that they did not do that
That's a
and they were
great
blessed.
story.
Huh?
That's a good story.
That was a good
Yeah.
story.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Something that you don't hear about on the news.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
We got 3 minutes to talk about Kanye West. Come on, Key.
Oh no, we only we can't. That's gonna take.
We got to.
What you do now?
That's gonna go. That's gonna require longer than 3 minutes.
I'm
But
sorry, he cray, but I love him to death. I'm so sorry.
He's
I
very
just pray for him daily. Poor thing.
All right, the producer
Oh
in the
my God.
background saying, mm.
all right. So as long as our producer don't mind if we go over a few minutes, then I'll read it. If not, we can. All right. I don't hear nothing, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Kanye West doubles down amid the White Lives Matter clothing backlash. So I don't know, how many of you guys have heard. I'm sure that, I mean, if you're on social media, some kind of social media, or unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard about, his latest shenanigans. So he continued. So basically, he wore a White Lives Matter apparel this week after unveiling it during his fashion show in Paris on Monday. So he posted a photo of a black sweatshirt from his line with White Lives Matter written in white on the back and a picture of Pope John Paul II on the front. So he said, here's my latest response when people ask me why I made a tee that says White Lives Matter. And he says in all caps, they do. So Kanye has faced widespread criticism over the White Lives Matter slogan. The Anti Defamation League is calling it a hate slogan, citing its use by the KKK. So Jaden Smith, who, Will Smith's son, who, the Smiths are very vocal, especially Jaden and Willow. He reportedly left the show immediately after seeing the writing, and then he proceeded to post a series of tweets, including ones that said Black Lives Matter, we demand a more progressive future, and follow your own morals instead of people. But Kanye had his defenders too. Fellow rapper Sean Diddy Combs called Kanye West a super free thinker and said his clothing line has been misconstrued. And then, of course, Candace Owens appeared at his show and wore the same shirt. So Kanye is no stranger to controversy, including about racism. He faced a similar backlash in 2018 when he claimed that slavery was a choice. If anybody didn't hear, back in 2018 when he said that, he basically said, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice, is what he said to TMZ. So we want to know, what do you think about this? Is this, freedom of speech, or did he go a little bit too far with this one?
I think excuse me. I think it's more of lack of medication than freedom of speech or anything like that. That guy is off his rockets. I miss his mom because she's the only one who can control him. That's it.
We know that Kanye definitely has some mental health issues. It has been put out there that he is bipolar. So he does have, so some of his things that he does are, could be a manifestation of that. And like Lisa said, being unmedicated. Um, but I just think it's really a slap in the face to, especially if it's kind of like something that, the KKK is saying in response to Black Lives Matter. Like, why would you promote that? Why would you? And they do matter. I absolutely agree with him. All lives matter, 1000%. But at the same time, you don't take into account the people that you're offending or hurting when you're doing the things that you're doing, is my concern. Like, you just he is the dictionary definition of like no chill, and just I'm just gonna say whatever and do whatever comes out of my mouth at any given time. Like, it's just
because he's financially secure and he can. And unfortunately, it's allowed. I would have rather have seen him with a shirt that all lives matters.
Me too.
But
Yeah.
who? I mean, really and truly, really, who checking him?
No one.
nobody.
Not
And
any.
so,
Nobody
therefore,
actually
medication or not, he's basically allowed to do whatever he want to do, as if
Yeah.
there's no consequences, there's no repercussions. Who checking him?
Well, he has learned not to go against the other people, because there was a situation where they like did, I don't know, they didn't sue him, but they silenced him in the court, where Adidas and his clothing line and stuff, that he wanted to take it to a different situation because they didn't have his clothes presented in the shopping bags so that people can look through the trash bag to look for their clothes, and they wanted to hang this stuff up. So they silenced him. They said that anything reference to any of the clothes items or the title Yeezy or any of the other stuff, they silenced him on that. So his brand got shut down. So it's back to messing with these people who has not done these things to me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
Okay.
will just say,
yeah.
I'll just say that although I 100% don't agree with what Kanye says or what Kanye does, Kanye is not doing anything that Donald Trump is not doing. Kanye knows how to keep his name relevant. You're going to continue to talk about this man. And I mean, he's walking around with these clothes that looks like it was something that the hopeless people would wear, and people are paying thousands and thousands of dollars for these clothes. He knows how to. I mean, I don't know how much money he wants to make. He's definitely a billionaire. He knows how to stay relevant, and unfortunately, the way that he does it is not. I don't want to say politically correct, but it is offensive to people, especially people of his own color. But
He don't care.
if you look at it, I mean, Donald Trump does the same thing. He does anything and says anything that he wants to say. Nobody checks him. He talking and running around talking about, oh, the classified documents was unclassified because I said so. Who are you? That's not the way that it goes. And you just have these people that just, I guess they think because they have money or because their status is whatever, that they can say anything, but it keeps people talking about them all the time. Somebody
Leah
got something to
say,
say, and it's like, soon as his name dies down, he go with something else, cray cray. So that's his way of keeping himself relevant and naming people's mouths and that kind of thing. People talking about
Just like I just it really bothers me, because I mean, at whose expense?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you just, I mean, think about your children, and I get the fact that they're wealthy and they're probably never going to live a quote unquote regular lifestyle to have to worry about anybody coming for them or whatever as a result of their father. But still, like, you have mixed race children, and you're not even thinking about that. Like, I would think that, the whole think about who it would affect before, even if you don't care about everybody else, like, think about your kids and what effect this might have on them. I mean, it's just,
Well, think about
I
what
don't
your
know.
mom would think of what you're doing.
Mm.
Yeah.
He
I
probably
don't
should.
know, y'all. I just, Sister Leah said pray for him, and yes, absolutely, like, without a shadow of a doubt, because he needs help, and it's almost, I feel like during his, like somebody said, when his mom was here, he wasn't. It's not that he wasn't like this, but I believe that he was medicated, and he was kind of more even keeled and balanced, and then Kim kind of was able to keep him, balanced to until he wasn't, and then fast forward to, that's why, their marriage didn't work out. But I feel like a lot of that is him lashing out too, because he's doing a lot of, posts and tweets about them, and saying a lot of mean and nasty
Yeah.
things and threats, and just he's
And
really,
then he turns around and
he needs some
apologizes.
help. He needs some help, like, for real. And I say that, just like I said with, Orlando Brown and some of these other people who are just all over the place. Like, where's your people? Because it's no way that you're going to be my person and be just all over the place like this. And I mean, I know that you can't control what people do, but, like, you don't have nobody that's, like, trying to do something. I
But
don't
you'd
know.
be surprised at how many people, especially wealthy people, they have people around them and all of that, but they're yes people. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
They
That's
just,
true.
anything
Or
you can do.
users. They
Yeah,
gonna, yeah.
absolutely.
Freeloaders.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I
absolutely.
guess
They're
you're
not
right.
gonna.
They gonna tell him what he wants to hear so that they can
Hmm.
stay around.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
it is. It really is.
Mm.
All right, y'all. Well, that's all we got tonight. That's how we gonna close the show. That's
Don't forget about our notes if you want to throw a couple of uh
thing.
our what's happenings or anything in there.
She got this little section going on, the what's happening section. Our October, what's happening. So, just a reminder. Okay, so we have oh man, Tia Parker, a Walk of Faith Divine Cuisine, now has frozen or ready to eat meals. She is also taking orders for holiday catering. So you can
Great
call
stuff.
or text your order to 410-921-5686. We will have the flyer posted on our page. Listen, y'all, she's a good cook. I mean, she a
Yes.
good cook. And she's
Good,
single.
good.
She's single too. Any of our male viewers out there who might be interested, I just put that plug out there. She ain't tell me to put that plug, but I put that plug out there. Anyway, good Christian woman. She can cook too. All right, so happenings in October. Love the Hopeful, October the 15th at 8 a.m. under the Fallsway. That's 421 Fallsway under the bridge. Come on out and be a blessing to our hopeful community, our brothers and sisters. We need toiletry items. So you can donate, you can bring the toiletries yourself to the church, and we'll collect them and take them to Love the Hopeful with us on October the 15th. Or you can certainly make a donation to the church through our Cash App, that is $ BLFM. And in your your for area, we just need you to put for the Love the Hopeful. Just put Love the Hopeful, and we will shop for you. And listen, $1, $2, $3, whatever you can spare will be a blessing for our hopeful community. Also, on the 15th at 5 p.m. is the celebration of life for Sister Sandra Joyce Marshall. It is again October the 15th at 5 p.m. at the Victorious Living Faith Ministries, and the address is 435 Maryland Avenue, Essex, Maryland. That is on October the 15th at 5 p.m. And on October the 21st, your girl Key is getting her first ordination, praise God. And the time is at 7 p.m. And we invite all of you to come and share in this momentous occasion with us. So, again, that is October 21st at 7 p.m. at Victorious Living Faith Ministries, 435 Maryland Avenue, Essex, Maryland 21221. And one of our very own, our pastor, our former pastor, the Reverend Dr. William A. Gray III, will be our speaker for that evening. He will preach the ordination ceremony. And then the men of Victorious Living Faith, hallelujah, their fishing trip is on October the 28th and the 29th. For additional information concerning the fishing trip, please reach out to Minister Michon Noble. So that is what's happening for us in the month of October. We thank you for joining with us tonight. We look forward so much to seeing you guys back here next week, where we have a special segment. Amen. We're going to interview another host from another show. Amen. And so I believe it's Brother Antoine Grant from Access Granted. Yes. So y'all come right on back next week at 7 p.m. and we will see you then. Y'all have an awesome week. Be good. We love you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.